Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Idea Comics tabletop universe with our first game, Mind Over Machine. I just realized that the stream was named Mind Over Mutant. Well, we'll have to start all over. No. But yes, this game is called Mind Over Machine, and it is indeed the start of a tabletop universe based around superheroes. Through this, we'll do a bunch of nice short little adventures. This one taking roughly about 10 sessions, going from level 3 to level 5. And over time, we shall build a universe as well as a grand overarching story. Or it'll all die and crash into flames, whichever works. Don't jinx it. I'm going to knock on every ounce of wood possible. But nonetheless, we begin with this game, Mind Over Machine. And it begins in New Pine City. And I'm going to take a sip of tea.
God, there's no audio.
Set.
Skyler said there's no audio coming from you.
Is there no audio period?
Yeah.
Or
Turn down and turn it up.
What about me? What about the gamer?
we can do a little
Watch is good.
sound check, but
What about me?
Yeah, that's
oh my
why I was saying Squirrel was good.
Thank you. I know I'm good.
Also, Skyler, can you fix the typo snafu in post?
We're just doing a little bit of technical checking right now to all 2 people in the check.
Thank you.
Can we get some pox in the chat, please?
Testing
Skyler will-
1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Now I got my. Okay, I was on the. I bought a new set of headphones. That's why it's getting angry.
Ah, that makes sense.
So I have to. I might have to do that for the other. Thank you.
Thank you, Skyler.
Will Clutch ever break his curse? Anyway.
Yeah, shush. What did
What did I say about jinxing things?
I'll go
Okay,
ahead.
let me
wood,
join stream.
Black
So I can-
mad.
So whenever
I am
I
still
say
too
pog,
gainy.
the other
God,
pog
I'm still too gainy, whatever that means.
That might mean you're peaking a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Turn me down.
Oh, I might have to turn you physically down.
Yes.
Where are you at?
Holy shit! It's only me.
Okay, speak, Joey.
Hi, hello.
There you go. I just.
Oh, and
We should have done this in advance, but hey, hindsight's always 20.
Well, we didn't.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, we're good. Good. I just put you down in Roll20. I mean, put you down in
All
Discord.
audio is all good, and Skylar fixed the typo.
Got it.
So it now says Mind Over Machine.
Speak in chat. I cannot speak in chat. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, chat's open. Well,
You may speak in
okay.
chat.
Technical difficulties for the machine parts and the machine spirits have been slapped. Get to going, God.
Indeed.
There we go.
Get back.
Did the funny pug.
Back to
So,
work.
the sun rises from the mountain onto New Pine City, as it is on the west coast in a state called Cascadia in these lovely United States of America. While this world is not wholly like our own, several things do echo similarly. It is a Sunday, and nobody likes to work on a Sunday. Still, people bustle. The coffee is bought alongside the bagels and the eggs as the busy bees begin to do their daily work in this grand city. And we focus first on a small, well, not a small place at all, but a small woman entering a large place. Raina,
Yeah.
I understand the fact that you gained your power 6 months ago, but how long have you worked as an intern for AtomCo overall?
Um, how long has my dear friend been in the hospital?
That is a good question to answer with. It's been roughly about in between 9 months and a year. You can't exactly remember because it's
So
been a bit
nine
of a
months to a
blur at the
year.
start. Yes.
9 months to a year.
It's a bit of a wide margin, but nonetheless, it was a good reason for you to take the job and fly all the way over to New Pine City. Your friend came across with a horrible tragedy, and she's still suffering for it. But hopefully, with AtomCo, funded by one of the last true allies of superheroes, if not a superhero himself, Dr. Atom, you can hopefully find and research the precise amount of prosthetics and neural link transmissions to ease your friend's pain, which is why you currently are coming to work on a Sunday, although there are some minor other reasons as well. The psychoplasmic power converter, or the PPPC for short, is one of the newest inventions Dr. Adams been working on, and you and the other doctors and scientists have been testing. It's said that it can not only transfer psychic energy into the quantums and theoreticals of simple electronic energy, but some say it also has a unique side effect. Perhaps it could attract ghosts? If ghosts are to exist, of course. Luckily, that's what your little friend is for. One of the recent experiment is a bit of a strong word for her. Test subject? Perhaps. The test subject is known as Lenyazi, or Ducky, as she likes to call herself with her little raincoat and duck hat. And today will be the day that you, presumably, test out the PPPC with Ducky as a psychic control sample, seeing as how her mutantism allows her to take harness of these powers. It's a
Yep.
big job and it's a big presentation, or so you've heard. So I ask, how do you look, Reyna? And how did you enter the workspace?
Reina looks to have. They're used to it, so they're not disheveled or anything. But they have their hair done back well enough so it doesn't get in the way of their work. They're wearing proper attire for their job. Lab equipment. Um, they have blackish, bluish hair and blue eyes, and they are a little tired but motivated as they walk in.
Indeed, feels like an early Monday for you.
I
And
just think of Mondays as Tuesdays now.
maybe. But as you enter, it's the same sort of first floor science lab that you work at. The fluorescent lights give everything this blue glow, and the smell is constantly sterile, even if the area isn't exactly. There's all different sorts of scientific equipment, cluttered notes. Most people do their working in here as well as eating, and considering you have a child about, you can see there's a handful of toys strewn about as well. In fact, if you sort of look towards the end of the hallway, in the coffee machine, is that a rubber duck? And it's as you're sort of stepping in and getting your bearings that you realize you're not alone, namely because someone starts running your way, little pitter patter of feet as they round the corner. And then as they are running towards you, behind them, you hear a very distinct stomping noise. Boom, 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 boom. And then the distinctive metallic echoey sound of a very familiar voice as this massive, almost 7-foot tall metal suit that wears a lab coat that's far too small for its size shouts, Stop that child! What do you do?
So are they running at me or running past me?
It appears that the person who is running the small yellow shape of Ducky with her Lady Liberty shirt and eye mask alongside the hat and the raincoat is running towards you.
They are running towards me?
Yes, the man behind her who's trying to stop her from running up with something in her hands. You can't exactly see it with how quickly she's running. He's trying to catch up, but judging by the legs, he's very slow.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a swift kind of motion to scoop them up, and at the same time use my own psychic abilities to snatch whatever is in her hand out of it before it drops or falls.
Okie dokie, that is going to be, I would say, your spellcasting modifier is wisdom, yes?
Do you want me to roll an acrobatics and a wisdom?
I would say yes. Those two are the most accurate in this instant.
Okay. So wisdom plus proficiency?
Indeed.
Okay, so
First rolls of the
acrobatic.
game, baby. Let's go.
What did we get? Did it roll? Okay, that's the best. Unless I have advantage, because they're running right at me. And then I'm just going to roll insight because it's the same thing.
Okie dokie.
That's my because it's wisdom plus proficiency. 17.
They almost make their way past you. Ducky is a very fast child. But as you sort of reach out your hand using your psychic energies, it lifts whatever is in her hand up along with her. And as she sort of dangles in the air, giggling, you see that what's in her hands is this small red, hot dog red water pistol. Liberty gun, she sort of says as she spritzes it into the air.
Why does no one watch you when I'm gone?
I was watching her, the man says as he begins to approach you. The large machine man sort of stomping his way forward. He can't help it. His feet are the size of trash can lids.
Yeah,
This
no,
is
but then
Dr. Hemimorph, your
Yeah.
ally in this.
Yeah, I just point to the coffee mug with the duck in it.
Yes, clearly I can help with that, considering, and he raises up one of his hands. There are 3 fingers, and they're all roughly about the size of your hand.
No, but you need to keep her in an area with her stuff that she's not supposed to take her stuff out of. Isn't that right, Ducky?
Lady Liberty can put stuff wherever she wants. So why
Yes,
can't
but
I?
Lady Liberty respects the rules because she's a hero and she fights for liberty. Not doing the rules goes against that.
I don't. Okay. And she just sort of lets go of the gun and lands on her feet and just sort of sticks her hands in her pockets and pouts a little bit. Either way, thank you very much. I wish I could run a little faster, but
Maybe
100-pound legs.
yes. I feel like you should have someone to help you with her.
I was,
Besides me.
actually, but she's
Oh.
currently upstairs checking with Atom herself. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Not the thing I expected to run into when I first get here, but
We work with what we can, yeah.
yeah.
Would you like some coffee? As he sort of picks up the coffee pitcher with the duck sort of bobbing through it.
Yes, I will take some coffee.
He prepares to pour you a cup.
Yeah. And I'll remove the duck.
Indeed.
And I guess I'll start straightening some of the stuff up too while I'm at it, while he's making the cup.
Alrighty. You do see a couple of the extra notes. Of course, there's the hints of stuff preparing for the PPPC, including a couple of notes of the preliminary tests you might need to make.
Mm-hmm.
What is your passive technology or history? Whichever you choose.
I am going to pick technology. So 13.
13 does seem to make sense. Roughly, it's a small sort of head, a helm of sorts that sort of place on the subject and sort of channels the energy over. Hopefully they find one that fits Ducky's head, and hopefully she's not too nervous for it. She is sort of still following you, just sort of peeking over to sort of glance at the notes, while Dr. Hemimorph sort of he uses something that you've seen a couple of times. These small little swarms of nano machines that sort of emit from the 3 large fingers on his hands and slowly raise and pour the pitcher delicately into the coffee. And then for the one for himself, they place a straw in it. Sort of picks it up with 2 tips of his fingers and sips it as he brings you the other one. But yes, you might need to test Ducky before we get to the main meat and potatoes of today. Will you be there for the presentation?
Yes, I'll be there. I promise to take Ducky for ice cream afterwards.
I see. Although I am kind of scared what kind of things a sugar rush would do to her.
Well,
Sugar rushes are fine for me. They most certainly would not.
well, the fun part is I get to give her back afterwards. Not my. I don't have to deal with the aftermath.
Oh, very smart.
Yeah. It's what grandparents do.
And it's as you two are sort of sipping your coffee that another one begins to sort of run down the it's this hydraulic door at the front, and it hisses open dramatically as a woman runs through the other side, sticks her hand to it. You see her. She's a very plain woman, doesn't wear any makeup. Her hair is tied up into sort of a bun of sorts, and her thinness is sort of shrouded by her lab coat, which coincidentally seems too big for her, while Dr. Hemimorphs is a bit smaller, as she says dramatically, "Has the kid stopped running?"
Yeah.
"Oh, yes, yes, we solved that." "Why didn't you tell me you solved that?" I forgot."
It just happened. We're cleaning
All
up
right.
the aftermath.
All right. I presume that the aftermath's not too crazy. You're keeping her out of trouble, right?
Yeah.
Good. That's good. That's good. This is Dr. Beswick, the other current resident scientist on brand. There's others, but currently the tall, jolly one and the sort of small but shrewd. She's not pessimistic exactly, but she's sort of been the voice of reason to Ducky's bouncing off the walls chaos and Hemimorph's jolly old uncle vibes.
The straight man, if you would.
Yes, and she seems to be rubbing her temples. Clearly, she hasn't slept well, but she's sort of preparing. Okay, we have her. Is she prepped? Well, we still have to do the preliminaries. You haven't done the preliminaries yet? Well, I expected us to do it now, just to get it through. And she just sort of pulls Hemimorph to the side as he begins to whisper a bit more prominently to him. Dougie sort of looks up to you a little bit, confused, then to her. Huh.
Well, do I know what these preliminaries are?
You can make me, I would say, either a history or insight check.
I'm gonna go with insight.
Alrighty.
Ah,
Yes, the preliminaries. You did manage to, I take it you're a decent studier, right?
yeah,
Randall?
yeah.
You would
I'm
have
decent.
read through the stuff, at the booklet, at least a handful of times. It mainly consists of 3 things, although you don't exactly have the details 100% correct.
Mhm.
1 second.
Good.
The first, of course, is, word association, because it's what they do for everything, including therapy.
hmm
For the second thing, it's partially to test the plasmic side of things.
hmm
What with one moment, let me just do this because I realized I forgot to do that. Second one is more to test the sort of paranormal aspects, seeing as how the whole point of that is to see if the past psychicism aligns with the current psychicism, especially considering the ectoplasmic side effects of the power converter. And
hmm
then the third is to test her psychic abilities. But considering AtomCo, they're not going to do anything too ridiculous.
hmm
Or so you think.
So I think.
Indeed.
All right. So they're whispering hush hush now,
Indeed. What's
and
your passive perception?
that would be, I believe, 13 or 14. Let me check.
All right, you do overhear a
Oh, I'm
handful
wrong.
of
12.
12. Okay. You hear a distinctive handful of words. Namely, got this one. Namely, something about mainland China and a name you recognize. Dr. Orville, the man who used to conduct experiments similar to these before the times of AtomCo, way
hmm
back when in the 70s and 60s. He's probably the one you're going to have to do this in front of. The test itself, if not the preliminaries. Dr. Hemingway sort of speaks up a little bit. Well, nonetheless, I believe in the two of them. I believe that Raina's at least going to know enough that Ducky will be able to trust her, and I trust Ducky enough that nothing will go wrong. It better not go wrong because we've got a whole lot of investors who are watching. Oh, no worries. It'll go completely fine. Isn't that right, Reyna?
Yes, as I find the closest piece of wood to knock on.
That is a perception check.
Okay. Let me guess, there's no wood in here because it's high tech.
It is a very sterile science laboratory.
Yes, but we were just by the coffee maker. I'm gonna
Indeed.
hope that in the kitchen. No wood.
I guess that there's the plywood of the desk, but that's
That's
barely
good
wood
enough.
as it is.
Good enough.
Indeed.
Because he just raised a flag.
Indeed.
All right.
All right. If that is the case, then fine. We'll go through the preliminaries. And if things go well, which I fucking hope they do,
Language.
looks to her and goes, Flarking hope they do, as she gives the most forced grin possible.
If there were, you just look at her like we're in the presence of a child, please.
I presume you're also trying to cover Ducky's ears.
A bit, or just try to distract Ducky when I realize they're about to say that. Oh, Ducky, could you get when they're saying that?
Indeed. Then we'll be able to perform it without any trouble. So, if that is the case, then let's just go through it. Hemimorph, if you would guide them to the experiment chamber. All right. I presume you know the way somewhat already.
I believe I do.
Alrighty. What do you
Assume
do?
so. I start walking with Dr. Hemingway to the experiment chambers.
Yep. Ducky sort of does a bit of a skip behind you, although as you get closer to the chamber, it's a little bit more intimidating, so she starts walking a little slower.
I am very much keeping an eye on what she's doing and if she's just to make sure. I don't think she'd run off right now, but just in case something spooks her or something.
What's your passive insight? Or if you're actually no, you're attempting, you can make an insight check on this.
Uh, I do have advantage on insight checks because of my race.
Ooh, that is actually very good. That is pretty good. I will say that you can sense. Of course, there's, the childlike hope, but as she sort of walks through, the distinctive feeling you get off of her is the feeling of a child entering a doctor's office. Clearly, she's never. Well, she's been through a bunch of experiments, but considering how important this is,
Mm-hmm.
she is getting those nerves.
Mm-hmm. Right, I will reach out my hand to see if she wants to hold it.
She sort of looks up, and I'll say that you know each other enough that she does sort of consider, and she sort of grabs your lab coat
Okay, she grabbed.
sleeve a little bit, so
All right, if that's what she's
stick
comfortable.
alongside you. Indeed. And it's with that that you enter the test chamber. It is very interesting. It's a padded room, which the type you'd see in mental asylums, but it's almost completely bleach white, except for one single thing. Well, three single things.
Three single things.
Three single things. Yes, three triple things even. There is the two-way window, which is
Mm.
pure black and white. Wait, no, it's black. And it sort of has that sheen that mirrors the rest of there was anything there. Although, as you two enter, you can see your own two silhouettes, your two reflections against the mirror. And then there are two very standard looking chairs. They look kind of uncomfortable.
All right. So I guess we ought to proceed.
Alrighty. And it's as you two are sort of going there, she sort of hops into her seat and sort of looks around. The intercom sort of comes on with a dull sort of drone noise. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Hemimorph, but if you already knew that. Today we are testing for the recordings and a preliminary to the test of the PPPE, or PPPC. The psychic abilities of a Len Yazi.
My mind went to when you said PPPE. My mind went personal protection equipment.
Ah, indeed. That's what I almost thought of as well, I admit.
All right. What do I need to do, ODM?
The little small, almost it's the size of a library cabinet,
Mhm.
opens up below the two-way mirror, revealing a slip of paper with the following words on it. Test 1. Word association. Our main representative, Miss Reyna.
Mhm.
Say hi, Miss Reyna.
Hello.
Is going to say the following words, and we shall see what Miss Yaze says in association. Feel free to say the first thing that comes through your mind.
Shall begin now. Family.
Ray Ray.
Hope.
Liberty.
Mind.
She sort of furrows her brow at that. Psychological?
Path.
She sort of darts her eyes a little bit. Behind us. Wait, no, that's two words.
Childhood.
She takes a bit of a pause on this one, if only just for a second. And then, after a little consideration, she finally says, Pass. Pass.
Life.
Future.
Reincarnation.
What does that mean?
I kind of give a look to the window. Do I explain or do I keep going? That kind of look.
With your past perception of 12, you see a silhouette and then just a shrug from Beswick.
All right. Reincarnation is the belief that after one has passed on, they will be reborn in a next life.
Weird.
All right. Next word. Death.
Scary.
Okay. AtomCo.
You guys.
Enough. And then, okay, clutch. This is Antag.
That's how I pronounce it, so I guess that's how we're doing it.
Okay. Antag.
There's a bit of a pause at that word. And you see a sort of look pass over her face, if just for a moment, and from her voice you hear regret.
And, like, the voice visibly deepened and everything.
Yep.
What kind of check is that?
What are you trying to figure out what the fuck just happened, or
Pretty much,
looking
like, was that a
into it?
psychic thing? Was that a... Because
You
that
can
was not...
try and you could try and make me. I guess that would be an Arcana, a medicine check, what have you.
I will take medicine.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
There are two things about that. One,
Mhm.
there is no way a voice like that would come from a mouth as small as Ducky's. And two, Ducky has, although it won't probably show up in my voice acting, a slight Chinese/Taiwanese accent. It sounded Russian. So it was more like, great.
Well, to be fair, China does border Russia, though it's not unheard of. But
Not
still,
completely unheard of, but still.
it's a strange word that triggered a strange event.
Indeed.
Why this word is here, I do not know. I don't even know what this word is.
You don't? Although you could try and look in your mind to see what it means.
I could do that. What would I need to roll for that?
I guess history.
Okie dokie. 11?
You did
Unless...
see that word a handful of times when you were looking through the history of the PPPC,
So, probably has to do with Dr. Orville.
presumably.
Alright. Okay. Alright, I guess that concludes, and then once that happens, because I imagine this is all in my head real quick, after that
Indeed.
happens, that concludes the listed words.
Indeed. Test 1 has been completed. Test 2 will now begin. The little library cupboard closes and then opens again, showing what seems to be an old brown suitcase, along with a small slip of paper on top, folded in half for your convenience.
Alright. Open paper.
Inside are 5 toys. You shall show each to her, see which one she is drawn to. Number 5 was owned by a previous psychic.
Ah, so we're avataring the last airbender this.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Alright, I will do as the instructions say.
All right, so you opened the suitcase?
Yeah.
5 toys are inside. The first one is a rubber ball, yellow and blue. One of those baby dolls where if you sit them up, the eyes open.
Mhm.
This one, yeah, you kind of heard of him. What's your passive history?
11.
11. Vaguely remember this guy. He's somebody that Lady Liberty fought once. His name was like Dr. Daedalus or something. It's an action figure of him, complete with this little lever on the back that has a sort of a kick flip or some sort of action thing.
I think I know which one Ducky's gonna pick. So far.
Then this sort of bendy rubber, stretchy Armstrong looking dude. And then, finally, an old tattered top hat.
A top hat? That's not a toy.
Indeed. It's got a patch
I
on
think
it.
I know which
Looks like
one
it's been...
belonged to the psychic.
Indeed.
Alright, I will... I guess The best way to do it I'd have Ducky turn around as I set all the toys on the table, and then tell Ducky to turn back.
Alrighty.
Pick,
If
pick
that is
one, and then I will tell them you can pick only one. But pick the one that you want, like the most, or the one that you feel that you know what I mean.
yes. As she sort of turns around and you slowly place each one in front of the chair. And she eventually turns back. Looks down at the toys and sort of glances at each of them, considering for a moment. Her hand, for a second, moves towards the hat, but then immediately goes for the Dr. Daedalus action figure.
Yep, saw that one coming.
Oh yeah, I know this guy. He's a good guy, but he's also kind of a bad guy. I always found his episodes really weird.
Saw that one coming, but there was the initial reaction of going for the hat, but then Child Wonder went.
Indeed,
I'm sure that was observed.
indeed. As you hear the intercom come on and the slight sound of scribbling, as well, it appears that test 2 is complete, a bit faster than anticipated. I suppose that we can finally move on to number 3. I presume you put back the toys and whatnot
Yeah,
into the slot.
and
All
yep,
right.
yep.
It slowly is pushed back. And then when it's pushed in front, it's that yellow and blue bouncy ball again. But this time with a new folded piece of paper.
All right.
It says that you should tell them that you're going to bounce the rubber ball 9 times. And each time you bounce the ball, have her focus as best she can so that should it hit the ground, she'll be able to stop it. And
All right.
then, on the 10th time, throw it at her face. Do not warn her that you're about to throw it. And then it has 2 little notes. At the bottom, it says, apologize to the patient as soon as you have done it. And then beneath it, Beswick has sort of written, you can cut this for time if you need.
All right. I know how I'm going to do it. I am going to do as it says, and I'm going to do it. But but I just finished the one quicker than expected, so we have time. Correct.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is when it gets to the point where it says to throw it at her face, I am going to aim it that it looks like it's going, like to her, it looks like it's going to her face, but it's really going to miss. You know what I mean? The
Fascinating.
just barely kind of thing. But I will explain to her what we're doing and then do it till that point.
Are you going to explain it to her?
Yes, I'm going to bounce the ball 9 times, and she is supposed to try to stop the bounce.
Yes.
Focus on trying to stop it from bouncing.
She gives
All
a
right.
nod.
All right, and I begin doing that.
First, bounce. Second, bounce. Third time, moves a little slower. Bounce. Fourth, bounce. Fifth, bounce is a little to the left. Okay. Sixth, bounce. Seventh, bounce. Eighth, no, that's a bounce. And then the ninth, just as it gets to the zenith of when it's going its fastest, it seems to halt for a split second. And then it hits the ground and bounces back into your hand.
All right. And then ball goes by her face. Do I need to roll?
I don't
or-
suppose that. I suppose it's arbitrary, but you know what? Just in case, make me a roll for it.
You want me to, because I have acrobatics or unarmed strike, or because it's kind of like a monk weapon?
Dexterity check because it's a ranged attack. I'd say.
Yeah, but so with proficiency, because it's kind of like monk stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'll allow
So
it.
okay, so just roll unarmed strike or roll acrobatics, because
Unarmed strike or acrobatics, whichever you feel.
acrobatics. Oh, please tell me I have advantage.
So, you prepped
I don't
for it.
I don't.
You prepped for it. This actually works into what I was going to say next.
Okay.
And you toss it. And as it flies through the air, you're sort of feeling it. You're sort of wincing a little bit because you're like, oh, that might have been too close. It's going to graze her cheek. And as it goes, it stops. And as it stops, the lights flicker. And you feel something grab your cheek and throat for a split second. And as the lights are flickering, you see someone grabbing you, fingernails sort of digging into your skin as you see a face of a sallow, skinny, starved looking man, eyes sunken into his head, hair white, and teeth the thinness of fingernail.
All
And
right.
then the lights flicker back on. The ball is still hanging in the air, inches away from. Oh, it was going to hit her cheek. And then
Okay,
it
but it
drops.
wasn't. You okay? I just shake off whatever that was.
He sort of glances down, then up to it, and goes, Yeah. Were you going to hit me with that ball?
No, I was trying to throw it. Well, you were supposed to catch it. It was supposed to be a surprise.
Ah, okay.
Which you did kind of catch it. My
Well,
aim was a bit off.
as the intercom begins to pipe
That
up,
was not a
you're
lie.
not supposed to tell her that you were going to throw it.
I didn't tell her I was going to throw it. I'm telling her after the fact.
Okay, that's
There's nothing in the rules about that.
Test 3 is concluded, I guess. Oh god. All right. You guys can come to the chamber. I think things okay. And
Mhm.
sort of
All right.
anti-ceremoniously, the door sort of swings open. Ducky seems to be walking on like nothing happened.
Yeah, I
In
don't
fact,
think
you're
that.
starting to wonder if that happened.
No, it happened. I'm pretty sure that happened. I was getting ready to try something if it didn't end that quickly.
Indeed. And for a
I
split
had a way to
second,
stop.
you remember his face. The hair blown back, the eyes staring, the thin teeth.
Great.
But you don't know if he was even there.
My mind. Great. There's an angry Russian old man possessing a little Chinese girl.
Perhaps. But nonetheless, as you guys are sort of discussing this, well, they're discussing it as you begin to
They-
enter into things.
They did
They're
see
just-
that.
Yes.
Mm.
Is that what you open with?
Well, no. I just kind of, because Ducky's with us. I don't want a Ducky to. I'm playing off everything that happened so it doesn't freak out Ducky.
Indeed. As they
And
seem to
I'm
be talking
looking
about
to them. Like I make a slight gesture, like I rub my neck, kind of like this, like in a nonchalant way, and look at them to see if they nod yes or no.
with your passive perception of 12, you do notice the fingernail marks in your neck.
Okay, so but did they see it happen? That's what I'm trying to get. If when I rub my neck, do they respond?
They are talking more about the lights flickered, and she did stop it. She stopped it. Everything went
Okay,
clean. So it should
Okay,
be
then.
fine, I presume.
All right,
Okay,
I'm going to. They know I can do telepathic things. Yes.
you've at least shown it off once or twice by accident.
Yes. Okay. Now, if I do this, Ducky will not intercept it, right?
You're not sure.
All right. I walk over, write down like I guess there's like a clipboard or something with paper and ink, pen.
Yes.
I take it. I write down what happened. I give it to him, and then
Hemingway
I
sort of
gesture to my neck and show
glances
the
to it,
rest of it.
glances to you, sort of leans forward. You can see in his suit he's probably trying to look into those little neck marks and then goes, should we stop the experiment? No, no, we shouldn't. If we stop the experiment now, we'll have to delay stuff, and that'll be a problem for those people we have to do stuff for. Besides, you're fine, right?
I could have handled it if it would have lasted longer, but that was just, I'm assuming, the only thing. I'll just stay near Ducky just in case.
Okay, so we're trusting you on this, right?
Something goes wrong, I will put my hands on Ducky and I will make sure it stops.
Fine, fine. You know what? Fine. That works. I can work with that. Just make sure that we're writing on a lot. And I understand
I want
this
this to
kid.
go through as much as you do.
Yes, but we want it to go smoothly.
Yes.
Fine.
All right.
Dr. Hemingway says, so we're going through with it? Edward
Yes.
sort of stands up and sort of strains it and goes, yeah, let's go through with the experiment. Rachel, we move to you now.
Oh, hey, that's me.
As now, I curiously must ask, do you like working on Sundays?
Depends on the time, really. Early, no. Past that, yeah. Just don't mind.
Indeed. Well, this must be a problem for you because it's 9 a.m. and you're showing up bright and early.
You know, funnily
As
enough, she doesn't mind
this
if
is
it's 7 a.m. or earlier. Nah, but like she wakes up at like 6 a.m. Yeah, no, she's fine.
all right. In that case, it's fine. As you begin to walk into a place that you've seen very often, your job at the Squirrely Times, once known as Cascadia's most prominent news report, newspapers, website, all that jazz, but with the sun sort of shining in, the only real natural light, except for the fluorescent at the end of the hallway, all the desks seem somewhat empty. But then again, it's not very new. The Squirrely Times has been in disarray for a while, at least since before you were hired. And currently, those who are still around are either the old fogies who are too stubborn to quit, or those who have survived by shrewdness, intelligence, and, well, downright dirty planning. Although the people who are you're currently meeting outside the main doorway to the meeting room are rather good people. You'd recognize them as. The desk nearest by to each of them is has this 8 tray of donuts with a couple of extra breakfast bagels and fresh coffee from some bodega. And the 3 people who stand in front of you are a middle-aged man who seems to be wearing a suit and tie, suspenders, and hands with balding brown hair with gray and a mustache. This is the man that you know as Artie Mossberg, the most prominent reporter that has ever worked for the Squirrely Times, although you do know that he's sort of semi-retired. He still works for the company, just not in such a prominent role. He's currently sitting there, sort of talking with everybody, shooting the shit. The woman sitting next to him is not in any sort of professional wear. She's currently wearing sort of this sports bra / crop top with a sort of see-through t-shirt over it, red glasses, and very dark makeup over beneath her dyed blue and black hair, showing off some tattoos. This is Alejandra Agostino, the more recent top reporter who's currently uh, jousting with you for the top roles. And then finally, sort of shakily holding a cup of coffee and looking around to each other for validation, is a very small, shrewd, thin-looking, nervous man, very young, like below 18, probably 16, 17, 18 years old. Hair coiffed a little too perfectly, eyes darting back and forth, clearly overdressed. He's wearing a tweed suit on what's clearly going to be a 70 or 80-degree day. This is Tim Mason, the current intern, reporter boy, and he's the person who's lasted the longest, who hasn't been fired earlier than you, Alejandra, or Artie. How do you enter the scene, and what do you look like in the current moment?
Okay, so she doesn't do anything particularly flashy. I mean, it's her job. She just sort of enters. She is wearing a white dress shirt, which on top of a very, very light pink sweater that sort of has like a B shape, though it doesn't really show anything because, you know, the dress shirt is covering it. And then a black, like, you know the ones that corporate people wear, like the black short ones.
All right.
And her hair is like in a ponytail, and there's two bangs showing to the sides of her head.
Alrighty. And it's as you're sort of looking and slowly approaching unceremoniously that Artie sort of looks up and gives a bit of a broad grin. Hey, Rachel, good to see you. I got bagels and donuts for everybody. So if you want some, you're free to it. Just save some for me, alright?
She replies with a slight Swedish accent, because you know, Swedish parents. I'm not
Yep.
gonna make the Swedish accent because I suck at it.
Mm-hmm.
But just keep in mind that she does have a very slight Swedish accent. She hates them. So why am I doing this voice? That's another character I'm playing. Artie, can I ask you something? She goes as she greets him by not quite kissing, but you know, like touching cheeks.
He's a little bit surprised by the gesture, but
She
he
does this every
understands
time.
it's part of your culture. Yeah, so he's
Yeah,
kind of
by
used
now
to it at this point.
yeah, no, it's something
It's sort of,
she has been done since.
he sort
They
of
are
gives a bit
fairly
of,
close, like not particularly super close, but more like not
indeed, if he
father,
just
but
sort
like
of goes,
father figure-ish, sort of.
oh yes, and he just sort of goes, oh, yeah, hey, Alejandra, Tim, you don't mind, right? Oh no, please go ahead. As she just sort of sips a coffee, black like her soul, and Tim just goes, oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. What is it?
So can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Do you have anything, as you know, look side to side on AtomCo?
AtomCo. I think that the closest thing we've been doing right now is the police work. Although, frankly, if you're gonna ask somebody about that, that's probably Uncle Quinn. Honestly, I mean, I'm currently doing the piece on the Black Bowman, and you was doing something on the crime pieces, right, Alejandra? Something of the sort, yeah. What about it? Yeah. So I'd probably see if I could slip it by. I mean, we're gonna see, Mr. Fletcher and Uncle Quinn, so maybe.
I'm asking because, well, there's some business that I have with these people that I'm.
Oh yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
wouldn't say they
definitely,
are
definitely.
enemies, but I'd never trust those people.
Oh yeah, I understand. I understand. You gotta look after your own. I get it. But
Okay, I was just making sure. Thank you for answering. If you know anything, do please let me know. Isn't quite for the job. This is more of my own investigation.
oh yeah, no problem. Besides, we're all here, and honestly, if he ain't gonna thank y'all for it, I am. Thank you for showing up on a Sunday. I know it means a lot, especially for the company. Yeah, the company. It feels like we're
Yeah,
flies buzzing on the carcass.
I dropped Ducky earlier, so she's in good hands for the time being.
Hey, fingers crossed. Yeah, I used to have a tot running around right about Tim's age, right? Oh yeah. I don't think I met him. Nah, you never met him. He's probably in the baseball business now. You know how it is.
So as this happens and the conversation dies down, she's going to also go greet Tim and Alejandra because unlike that bitch, she's not fucking salty about her existence. So she greets him with a handshake. He's an intern. She doesn't know him that much. So
He tries to give a solid handshake, but his hands are clearly very weak. It's like he's not great at it, but he's like, yeah. I'm apparently considered an essential to the company. It's really nice.
right. Uh, Good job. She
Yeah.
knows there's something sus about that, but
I
it's
I
his
try
own
my best,
suffering.
and he sort of gives like a joke salute. Yeah.
So she gives a nod, very, very fitting, and says, "Good job, soldier," as she goes to greet Alejandra, which instead of doing like two, which she did with Artie, because he's practically family.
Mhm.
She only does one, like a kiss with her cheek to Alejandra, and by now she also would have been used to it. So it's sort of like,
She sort of gives a bit of a smirk and says, "Hey, not on the first date." Uh, Either way, I'm surprised that you're bothering to show up. It's not that they're gonna add anything to our pay grade.
and
Still,
what
free
is it to
bagels.
you then that I show up? Am I not allowed?
Oh no, it's free country. Sort of bites on a bagel and sort of chews it. Charge. You seem to be looking towards AtomCo. Was that what you were talking about?
Yeah, just some things. Can I know what the different types of donuts there are?
It seems to be a garden variety. There's the glazed ones, then there's like two or three that are like jelly filled, two or three that are like cream filled with chocolate on top, and then just one that's like dusted with icing sugar.
Do I know which one is Artie's favorite, just so I don't touch it?
Well, judging by the amount of them, it's probably Boston cream.
So don't touch the Greenfield ones.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna grab one of the glazed ones and start eating on it too, as she sits down on her desk. Well, not on her desk, on her chair, but where she works.
Yeah.
There's a bit of things I've been looking into, but AtomCo has been my main focus for the time being. She looks over at Alejandra, sort of waiting a response, since she asked.
Oh, sorry. I just blanked out. Could you repeat that?
So she goes to eat. She eats her donut. Chews it, sits down on her little spot where she usually works, and says, "AtomCo has been my main focus for a little bit. Just been looking around. Not quite for the
Yeah.
job, but
I
focusing
heard
on it."
that it's the first time that what's his face? Adam. That's the guy. I heard it's the first time he's showing his face in a while. Probably looks like a creepy old man now.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, but big shots do live for a long time, sadly.
Yeah. I'm honestly curious. What kind of stuff do you have with them? Is it beef or someone you like there? Don't tell me you already got a boyfriend.
Oh, I could hear that smile clutch. I could hear it. Anyways, Rachel breaks an eyebrow, at least the one that isn't being covered by her eye patch. And says, "What do you want to know that?"
Hey, I'm working for the best place in the world for news, and she's clearly doing air quotes the whole time. I might as well find any sort of scoop, right?
Well, for your no, well, maybe thankfully or perhaps by your own bad luck, I do not. I am currently raising Ducky on my own.
Aw, pity.
What do you
Still,
wanna take
hopefully this
in?
place pays enough of the bills before it finally goes belly up. And Artie sort of gives her a dirty look and goes, Alejandra, what? This place is clearly dying. I'm surprised we're not the only people still working here.
Well, if we are or not, a paycheck's a paycheck. She does look back at Alejandra about her comment and says, "What? Do you want to fill in the spot?" The way you worded it.
I've... She sort of looks towards that and sort of raises an eyebrow and goes, I don't know.
Rachel gives a
Fact, make
very
me a
surprised look. She's
persuasion.
surprised. She's very surprised that she didn't snag her back. She actually looks surprised.
Clearly that little spike into her field was met with surprisingly nothing as she sort of arches an eyebrow at that. And it's
I'm gonna
at
do
that moment.
persuasion, like you said. Give me a
Indeed.
second.
Indeed.
Oh, I only have a what the fuck is persuasion? What? Oh, there it is. That's a 19.
She arches a definite eyebrow at that as somebody enters through from the other side. Sticking his head out is a man with distinctively blonde hair, the sort of pale skin of I'd say Finnish is closer to what he is. He's got these sterling, very blue eyes that sort of glance around to everybody. Despite his age, he's probably in his mid 60s or late 70s. The man does have some significant charisma to him as he sort of gives a warm grin as if he's granting welcome to his relatives, and he goes, "Oh, I see. This is everyone, yes? As best as we can get. Still more than enough. It is good to see you all here. Of course, this is the man that you know as Uncle Quinn. He insists everybody call him Uncle Quinn, despite the fact there's no relation. He is currently one of the head co-owners and seems to do more work than Mr. Fletcher himself. He sort of glances over towards Tim. Tim, it's so good to see you. How has things been?
Ian, real quick.
Oh, yes?
Sorry for cutting you off. Could I roll stealth? Now you may be asking why. I don't want Uncle Steven's gaze to glaze over me. She's trying to like not quite hide herself, but she's trying to make herself like the least interesting.
You can
Currently.
certainly try.
You. Oh God, that's another one.
Oh, that's perfect. As he sort of goes, Tim, it's so good to see you. I hope that getting up so early wasn't a problem, yes? Oh, no, it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem. I was able to get everything. I hope I have all the notes that you need. Oh, no, it's fine. By the way, I actually took a look into the fashions that you were aiming to look at. Gives a bit of a wink to him, and he's just sort of leans back a little bit and sort of goes, yeah. Artie, it's so good to see you. I take it that you already have your next piece. Yes. It's on the Black Bowman. Really? Another one on the Black Bowman. All right, I guess we can work with it. Alejandra, darling. And he sort of moves to kiss her hand, and she just sort of gives a bit of a sarcastic grin. And he just goes, honestly, I heard some things about the interview with this what is her name? Miss Sinclair. Was there any problems with that? Nothing that I would know of. Yeah, we shall talk about it. We shall talk about it. As you're trying to find any desperate place to hide, he looks to you and he gives it the wide-armed, about to hug of an uncle, or as he just goes, Rachel, thank you so much for coming in on Sunday. I am so glad to see you. I hope that the trip was not too much trouble. You did find someone for Ducky, yes?
Internally, she's screaming. She doesn't like the attention from the queens in general. She doesn't like it. But externally, from her experience working, she gives an award-winning smile. That the one she always says, yes, I did. A friend of mine is currently looking over Ducky
I see.
while I'm
What is
here
your
working.
passive deception?
My
That's 10
passive
plus your deception modifier.
what
or
the fuck is
bonus.
deception again? That is a 13.
13, not bad. He sort of gives a bit of an understanding smile and a nod as he goes, it's so nice to hear. Thank you for coming in on a Sunday. But yes, everyone. Mr. Fletcher will see you inside. The meeting has officially begun. Artie, you can bring in the donuts and the bagels, yes? Yeah, I'll bring them in. And it's as they're bringing them in that you finally see the meeting room, despite how empty and sort of depressing everything looks on the outside. You understand why the meeting room was put here. You can see the entirety of the Cascade Mountains stretching out before you. And with it comes the entirety of New Pine City, sort of outcropping down the mountain as it slowly reaches towards the bay. The room itself is decent. It's a bit gaudy looking with the carpet beneath it and the long, sort of outstretching table and very nice, cushiony chairs, despite the dust. But I suppose it hasn't been used in a while. And finally, sitting at the other end of the table, in an armchair that clearly was brought in, perhaps he or Uncle Quinn brought it in himself, is a man with long, sort of, not stringy hair, but clearly disheveled. His eyes are baggy, and he almost seems like he's half asleep as he's hunched forward in his chair like a mad king. A man with blonde hair that sort of almost goes over one eye and very dull brown eyes, two hands that are almost dug into the chair, and on one of them you see a signet ring. This is Mr. Beaumont Fletcher III, the person who owns the current Squirrely Times. He sort of lazily glances about you all as Uncle Quinn sort of moves quickly back around the chair to grab it as he sort of smiles to you all and goes, "Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Please come in. Come in. Uh, Mr. Fletcher is very excited to see you. Isn't that right, Mr. Fletcher?" Yeah, I think so. Yes, yes. We wish to currently go over what everyone has been doing. While there is a lot of stuff that has been going well, there are some things that we do need to cover. Now, first off, we must move to you, Artie, our former star reporter. Listen, I understand the fact that you are now writing period pieces for our current thing, our little insights on the city, but this is the third article you have written about the Black Bowman in the past 4 months. Is this really? I understand you can write as much as you like, but are there not other topics you really wish to do? What more is there really to do? The man's currently being a menace all around the city. And there's sort of a look around as he sort of tries and thinks to defend himself as he just sort of goes, uh, Liz, look, I get it. Maybe I'm writing a solid amount, but the two cops were reputed to be corrupt that are put in the hospital ward. He hospitalized a woman during one of his latest streets, and now he's threatening an AtomCo board member in his own home?
Would
I
I
don't
help
think he
him?
can get away with this.
Would I help him out as RD is speaking? Like,
Sure, if you wish.
can I do persuasion to
You
sort
can
of
certainly try.
chime in and like not quite defend, more so like show that it is an actually good reason to speak on it.
All
Right,
right.
I'm gonna
What would you say?
persuasion. Oh god, that is a 7. Could I still roleplay though?
Yes, absolutely, you could.
As Ori is sort of not calming down, but finishing her point. In this case, Rachel would step in and say, while I do understand that Artie has made more than a good few handful of what's the word that they use in for like these little things that they put in the newspaper. It's not posts. What is it?
Editorials?
Articles. That's the name.
Articles. Yeah.
Let me get it back in character. Well, I do understand that he made quite a few articles on the Black Woman. I do believe, considering his rather aggressive behavior, we should at least bring some constant light onto it. He gives a bad image to the heroes that we have and the ones we had as
Precisely.
well.
He's not even a hero. He's a menace. Look, I understand. I'll try and have this be the last one, but I have to release it, you know? There's a bit of silence amongst the room. What's your passive insight?
My passive insight, that's a one I'm actually good at. That's a 13. But that's mostly because my wisdom sucks, but you know, it would have been higher.
You see Mr. Fletcher, he's been pretty much silent and emotionless the whole time. You see as he's glancing toward him, there's a glimmer of something across his face. You can't place what it is. Could be, disgust at listening to the spiel, because he's said this a bunch of times at this point. Or is it rage? You can't tell. And Uncle Quinn sort of raises his hands with, all right, we'll check on this sort of thing. Just we'll discuss this at a later date. But in the meantime, Tim, Alejandra, you were doing the corruption case, were you not? Oh, yeah, we were. Uh, I managed to get an interview with that Captain Kingsley. Indeed. How much footage did you manage to get? Only 5 minutes. 5 minutes? That's it? She was scary. Okay, I couldn't talk to her that long. She has eyes that stare into your soul, man. I don't know what to tell you. Well, at least she did better because Alejandra, I hear from the police reports that there was a bit of a scrap between you and Miss Sinclair. Was that not correct? What? She had it coming. She was talking about stuff. Yes, as is wanted in an interview. Besides, she says that you stole silverware from her house. I didn't. I would be eating my bagel with a fork and knife. Do people do that? They might. Nonetheless, we shall focus you on something different. Rachel, what
Yes.
have you been focusing on? What are the articles that you have been releasing? How has that been going for you?
Out of character, right? I got no fucking clue. Oh no, wait, that would suss me out. Could I roll something to see what exactly I would have been looking into?
Sure,
Because
make me an investigation or history check, or insight, whichever of those three you feel.
let's see what I have. I'm gonna roll investigation because I realized that all my good stats are +3. At least the ones that are that I have like proficiency on. I'm gonna do investigation. It's a 12. That's not bad at all.
All right, that's not bad. Your bias has sort of shown, but you have been looking into the thing that Ducky's been aiming for. They have some sort of power converter, and apparently she's one of the main test subjects, especially for the one for live showing, which is why you've been so concerned about it. But you did manage to get a handful of interviews, especially with that Raina lady who sort of daycares your kids. So you did get a little bit more insight since you both first met a couple days ago, maybe a week tops.
She takes a little bit of time to sort of form the words in her head before, spewing them out. But she also says, yes, I have been investigating into he coughs. Says, would it be? It would be AtomCo, right? The one behind this.
It would be AtomCo, yes.
Okay. Into AtomCo. I have a few interviews. Actually, has one of the old timey recorders? The
Yes,
ones,
one of the old
the one
tape
that,
recorders, yes.
yes, specifically the one that Jacket uses from Hotline Miami, like say his lines
Yes.
in Payday 2.
Yeah, the old tape recorders that have the
Exactly. She's old school for no particular reason. I would say that her father has one, and that's the one she's using right now. She does put the tape recorder in like I'm guessing there's like a office like thing where she can put it
Mm-hmm.
in front of the Belmont. I'm guessing.
Yes.
So she puts it there to show that she does have it. And says, I do believe there is some sort of energy converter. I'm not quite sure what it may be useful, but I do have a few ideas of how they're getting the energy.
The one from AtomCo, is that it? Interesting. It could mount to something. But as he sort of looks around, and there is a couple of people looking at your work, and it could be an interesting lead. It's not the worst thing that's been shown up today. especially since, Alejandra's here. And Uncle Quinn sort of gives a broad grin. He sort of claps the back of the chair and he just goes, I will say this, even though we are having our problems, there has been a lot of effort, and I'm really appreciating this from all of you. And of course, Mr. Fletcher, as he sort of claps his hand onto Mr. Fletcher's shoulder and he sort of almost starts awake, is having a lot of. He's very proud of you. Is that not right, Mr. Fletcher? Yeah, sure. Whatever. They all sort of look at him for a moment. Clearly, there is not much. He doesn't even seem to be caring the fact that he's in the middle of the meeting. Uncle Quinn, you can see the gears turning in his head. He quickly switches gears as he just sort of goes. Is there anything that we should be doing? Any parts that we should be focusing on? Yeah, shoot the news, write the articles, whatever. Artie, you wanted to write that piece on Black Bowman, yes? Yeah. I thought it was. No, that is fine. Write that piece. We can put it as like a 3-page spread. We can make it work. As for the other three of you, could you see me for a moment, please?
Yeah, yes, of course.
Alejandra just sort of gets her coffee and picks it up. Tim is a little bit nervous. You can tell, you don't even need to make an insight check. He feels like he did something wrong.
So she's going to grab her recorder and pat like Tim on the back and say, "Don't worry about it. This is
Alright.
normal."
As Uncle Quinn finally sort of speaks up, as he sort of closes the door and just says, "Okay, so I understand the fact that Mr. Fletcher is not entirely. He doesn't give a fuck. Language. But yes, he does not give the fuck. Here's the thing."
Language.
He sort of gives a smile and sort of snaps his fingers towards you. Nonetheless, I feel like what could really make this work, what could snap him out of this, how do you say, out of this funk, is if we really push towards something. Now, I admit the corruption piece might have been too ambitious, it might have been too broad. But your AtomCo idea about the new power converter, that one, yes? That
Yes.
could work perfect. It could show how good the city is and how essential everything is, including the squirrely times. Alejandra, you don't need to ask too many questions. Just write down whatever you see, and you, Rachel, you shall do the interviews. You shall ask people. You shall make sure that everything is good. And Tim, yes, you will do your best. Does that sound good for you all? Are you all good with that? Yes?
Of course.
All right, that sounds good. Now, let's get moving. It should happen at right around 12 o'clock noon. The time moves forwards, as times want to do.
Real quick, before time, like there's a time skip, could I grab the gang? So in this case, Artie, Tim, and Alejandra. They all go to their respective places. So that little bit of time where they all three will be together when.
Oh, yes,
when
most certainly. As
moves around.
Artie is at his office and everybody just sort of lingers around. Alejandra mainly just seems to be preparing to leave while Tim is making sure everything is organized right down to the letter.
So she brings the three of them, like she doesn't call them together, but she does speak in a way that mainly the three would hear. She's not so sure about Tim because Tim is like a ball of nerves. But either way. And she says, could I ask you, stay for something?
I'm always here when you need me, Rachel. What's up?
So this is something I don't want either of the Fletchers to know about. But they do seem to be using, and I'm guessing I do know that they're using metahumans for the energy.
Uh, for AtomCo, I would say if it involves your daughter, then probably.
Yeah, then she does totally know because it is Ducky we're talking about. It says
As
an insider uh let me know that.
as Alejandra sort of gives a grin, she's like, "Oh, what are you gonna try and make this a mutant piece? I mean, diversity could possibly help with our sales." Ari just sort of looks up to you, and then he gives a bit of a fatherly grin and goes, "What metahumans?" Dad, he just grabs your arm and sort of shakes it a little bit. Hey, don't worry about it, kid. I won't mention it. Besides, it's not even my story, it's y'all's. Actually, it's yours. You gonna do good with that one? Or have you died?
Okay, can you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Jesus, the thing turned off. Okay.
Oh no! The horror.
Where did what was the last part you heard?
The last thing about metahumans.
Okay, great. So you didn't miss anything. So yeah, she mentioned that an insider told her that they were using metahumans
Yeah.
to charge up the
Yep.
thing. Okay, great. Great. Uh, what did what did Alejandra say? I couldn't hear it.
Alejandro sort of gives a grin and goes, "Oh, what is this a secret metahuman narrative you're trying to bring in?" As Tim sort of goes, "Well, it could bring diversity. You know, that could give us a little bit of a bonus for viewers." And Darty sort of looks up and goes, "Hey, what metahumans?" And he just sort of shakes your arm a little bit, like in a fatherly way.
Yeah, she's trying to chuckle, but the way she's looking, she's not kidding. But she certainly knows something. And she says,
Indeed.
I may not have enough information as is. That's why I didn't bring it to either of these. But I will let you guys in before I post anything. I don't have a good feeling about AtomCo, but that's just my
Yeah.
intuition.
Well, I honestly, first off, it's not even my piece, but second off, I trust you. Because if you have a feeling about it, then something must be really happening with it, you know? You'll do fine.
She gives a nod as she goes to her usual work, and then this is when we can do the time skip.
Alrighty. We move forwards in time a little bit. Both of these were happening right about 9 a.m. to 8 a.m. Currently, it is 11:25. My dearest friend Andy, how quickly do you both close up the pet shop, usually?
I tried to delay it a little quality time. Probably saying I'm recounting the cash for.
All right. You're taking your sweet time, but thankfully it's for a pretty good reason. Um, First off, you all close at noon and nobody's showing up, so you closed a little early. And second off, you and your pet shop, you and Cleo's, is in the best place in the city. It is in the middle of downtown, right next to the AtomCo building. It has this great big greenery that's a garden that's about as wide as a public park. And since there's apparently some sort of public showing, hey, that might be a great way for y'all to have a picnic, enjoy a nice little romantic date together, and
Mexican.
indeed. And of course, she's checking everything upstairs, but what would you look like and how would you respond when she finally comes downstairs? Sort of she's this fine looking tan skinned woman, uh clearly of Middle Eastern descent, with her hair a little bit of a mess as she's brushing out some uh bird feathers from her hair. You guys keep parrots on the upstairs.
Yeah, that parrot.
It's also swears around children. She's wearing a pretty decent new like jungle themed shirt, and she also seems to be wearing. Actually, hold on a second. We just
God,
put
I'm in the.
y'all back on.
Oh,
Nope, I'm putting you back here because I decided that is a little bit later. Um, she's dressed up nice and neat. What about you?
I kind of look as she's and I get a nice black beanie cap. I put a nicer shirt on, pair of jeans. Is it cold outside?
It's early-ish spring, so I'd say two or I'd say it's a little bit cool. It's like gonna be in the 50s today.
I grab myself. Have a have a picnic with at home.
Oh man, I was actually thinking the same thing. As she sort of comes down to you and sort of scruffles the beanie onto your head, she goes, "What? You never wash that thing?"
I wash it thoroughly. My lucky bean.
I doubt that. But
Is
okay,
there? Wait, I have a
let
question. Is there a sports team?
I would say that I would say it would be the New Pine City Haddocks.
New Point City Addicts going to make big leagues this game. I gotta keep the luck going.
She just sort of scoffs and rolls her eyes and goes, all right, all right. Let's just run through everything before we go out to the park."
I get all the food prepared for all the pets.
As she sort of gives a grin and says, "Okay, so what I've heard is over there, apparently it's gonna get packed quick, so we probably need to go. But just to check, you locked up the doors, right?" All right. Yeah, they sort of jingle a little bit when you push, but nothing. It seems. And you fed the pets, right?
Yep, my vet,
Even the parrot.
definitely.
All right. And the shutter's cleared, right? We don't need to worry about burglars or anything like that.
Knowledge.
All right. All right. I guess that's really about it. She sort of pulls on this sort of knit scarf as she sort of pulls it around her neck, and she sort of looks to you and goes, "Okay, I'm ready. Are you?"
Kind of like.
Stop. She sort of gives you a kiss on the cheek.
I imagine when I go outside, I pull out, but I can't light a lighter.
Indeed. It's the same lighter you've had since
My lucky lighter.
before. Indeed. Doesn't work.
I know
Um,
she always messes with it. It doesn't work. Says, "Oops,
Indeed.
sorry." Forces Pepper puts it back in the box. bag, put the lighter away.
I told you to stop smoking. That's how people recognize you.
He
Anyways,
gives her a little like scruff on the hair and says, "No." He
now
grabs
you're
like
just
the little picnic basket, kind of like looks at. That's her favorite.
now you're just flattering me. And
Oh,
as you cross the street, you realize little hiccup in your plans. The place is already packed.
oh.
As out in the front, nearby, there's this large crowd of people. There's people of all types. There appears to be some sort of news group there as well. Commoners of all different sorts. You do see somebody sort of talking to someone going, No, Stooge, you don't gotta go. Wait, no, I need to get the voice right. Stooge, I told you, you don't need to come out here.
About it. I
Yeah,
put my token next.
Uh, yeah. As she sort of looks to you and just goes, "Listen, we can go to like a food truck afterwards if you want.
Oh,
Besides, public
is
showing."
Jimmy's Taco Shop in town? I thought they had the health code violation.
I don't even remember, but I remember.
Oh,
I
you
think
definitely
Otis's hot
remember.
dog cart is like down the way.
She looks at her. You definitely remember.
She sort of cringes at the memory of just the night
You
afterwards.
went for the salad. I told you. Never trust Jimmy.
Well, I thought it was the healthy option.
The
Okay?
healthy option is the unhealthiest.
Fine. As you both are sort of discussing, see a couple of people. Do you think? What's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 12.
12. There are two people you recognize. The first is somebody nearby to you. Is that the guy from the subway? Hopefully, he doesn't recognize you.
He kind of like tucks down his beanie cap.
Indeed. But there's somebody at the front gate that you kind of recognize. Security guard. Didn't you know that guy on the force? What is he doing here?
I kind of like what?
Cleo. You forgot the name of your girlfriend.
Hey, listen, man. I got her on my notes, but I don't. I can't
Wow.
keep. Cleo,
Okay.
I think it would be best if we take our picnic.
Oh, yeah, but live showing. We could watch this. Sounds pretty cool.
I'll do it.
All
He
right.
looks a little.
Hey, no worries, no worries. It'll be fine. The security guards you do sort of recognize. What's your? You can make me a history check if you like.
I love his.
He's sort of
You do
got
not love his shirt.
He's got sort of prematurely graying hair and sort of these glasses. You do recognize the body type and the face. But you don't entirely remember how he was. He could have been one of the nice ones. He also could have been one of the crooked ones. Of course.
They don't recognize. I don't recognize. I'm just.
And, there's people sort of crowding around. There's almost like 10 or 20 more than when you got here, as the man sort of speaks up and goes, all right, we'll be opening the doors in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And everybody's just sort of talking. You hear somebody saying, I think it's something about AtomCo. Apparently, they're testing out some new equipment.
I swear, a lot of this. I haven't done the.
Anything? I've heard it's free.
That's.
And you mentioned that you have a passive perception of 13, do you?
12.
12. I see. Somebody, somewhere, is going to make a check.
Can I say I'm on a lot of big hitters around here?
You can make me a perception check. You do notice, because it's a big crowd, there is a guy that's standing nearby you. He doesn't look too unscrupulous, but you do notice the way he's looking around. He's not entirely looking too nice and neat. He looks a little nervous. He's not wielding a gun, despite what the ref says. And you do notice he's moving a little close to you, too. What do you do? You can't tell.
Kind of like pan on what? He's gonna. Hey, bud.
Oh, I got nothing. Let me actually make a check of some kind. You can certainly insight. Hey, I don't got nothing going
Hey, bud, are you
on.
trying to put hands
Nothing.
on my gal today? This is our picnic, mate. It like
What-
kind of
what?
like
As she sort of looks
stands up.
to-
You trying to get all handsies on my girl? How rude of you!
As she sort of looks around and goes, "Oh, what? You suddenly getting jealous?" As he's just like, "Hey, I don't want any trouble. I'm just here for the thing. I'm just here for the thing."
Yeah,
She
you're here
sort
for
of
the thing. As
looks-
you got a phone trying to take a quick little pic here, aren't
Oh,
you now?
she's probably here for my thing, and she just sort of gives you a playful wink,
Oh, you.
and it's like, no, it's nothing, it's nothing, and there are some eyes currently looking at him, so
I got an
the
idea.
guy immediately goes to grab her purse.
Who?
and
My lady?
Yep, she's grabbing Cleo's purse. Son of a bitch. What do you do?
I'm gonna. And I'm gonna make it like I go with like a hard punch. I can't sleep.
Oh,
But it makes it look like I'm throwing a punch on the guy's face.
alrighty. That is going to be roll to see how many hit points it is, and then roll deception or performance, whichever you prefer. Oh,
I roll myself up, trying to make it look like I just punched out the guy.
oh, you do the stage punch where, as you're whiffing, you thump your chest so it makes that sort of noise as he immediately stiffens up straight and then falls over onto his back.
How rude, fella! You trying to put hands on my girl? Gives her back her. I told you.
Just, you didn't have to be so obvious with it. As there's two people, it's these two twins. One of them wearing this sort of backwards baseball cap, while the other is wearing these sort of shades. As the one in shades goes, "Yo, he knocked him the fuck out!" And starts fucking taking photos on
just
this
just
guy.
a gift me. Oh, just a kid with his hands.
As everybody sort of looks up, and the security guard sort of walks up and just goes, "Hey, come on, guys, break it up, break it up."
Hey,
And
trying to
as he
steal
sort
my
of
girl's
looks,
purse. I got all these.
no, you're fine, you're fine. I saw it too. And as he sort of glances into you for a second, there's a ping of recognition.
Sits there, it's like, kind of like places it on his shoulder. Wow, I didn't know much excitement goes to viewing.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, I don't think you know me, but my name's uh Barry.
Nice
You
to
can
meet
make
you,
me a
Barry
history check.
Allen. The Flash.
You can make me a history check with advantage.
God, is he? With advantage. I roll my.
19. You remember this guy? He was like one of the 4 good cops on the force. Of course, he got fired too because he wasn't corrupt enough. You think his
Ah,
name was something or another? You can't entirely remember. He probably changed his name too, because you remember it sure as shit wasn't Barry.
well, Barry, my fellow, he's security.
He is a security guard wearing a nice little AtomCo jacket.
I give him like a classic fist bump. Like, buddy, I'm gonna tell you right now, this fella right here. I don't want to take up too much. Didn't take too much, and I know you don't want to fill that paperwork. Just
Oh no. He just looks like some random palooka. Just I'll get some guys to do it. He'll just be back out
send
again.
him to mall jail.
Yeah.
Gives him like a little,
Something.
give him a
I
little
can get
sugar
him
bump.
detained in the storage room for a couple hours. Yeah, crud. But anyways, yeah, I gotta go back to my job. But hey, I'll catch you on the inside, huh?
Yes, I will.
Oh,
Hopefully.
all
And
right,
then he
sounds
goes,
good.
I handled.
You really did. You really did. As another person sort of walks up to you, sort of gives you a smile. It's this man with a pompadour that has lightning little trails off of it. He's wearing these red glasses, and he goes, "Hey, honestly, that was a nice display. Andy, was it?
Name's Andy.
Well,
It's just a nickname I go by. Yep, my name's Andy.
indeed. Yeah, it's nice to see you again." As he sort of outstretches a hand, this this man right here is the man from the subway
Oh, you're the man.
that you have a
P90.
little. Indeed.
Good to
And
see you
another
around
man
here.
sort of, well, yeah, I was just interested in hoping that you'd come over to this little scene, and you know what? You came over. Kind of proud of you.
Hey,
A man sort of roughly sort of tries to stick his hand in. Yeah, my name's Stooge.
hello, Stooge. My name's Andy. Don't rail it out, Stooge. Love your hair.
Yeah, no problem. It's this guy with sort of a like roughly cut hair that's sort of almost in like a bowl cut,
Yeah,
but
it's
not
like the
quite.
JoJo's hair that looks.
Staring, yeah, he's got like staring eyes and sort of a leather jacket that he looks like he's trying to be cool. He isn't. And as Jack goes, yeah, Stooge, if I could
I
have
put
a
my
moment."
arm around. Hey, don't worry. I got this. Stooge, my friend.
Yeah, what's up?
Ladies.
Yeah.
Right now, he pulls out like a pick. Kind of like fix him up. Kind of like reshapes it. Now listen to this. See this girl right here? She mine. But I see it kind of looks at one
Yeah.
of the weird like
Yeah,
generic
she's pretty hot. Yeah.
kind of generic token of a woman, I assume.
Yes, just some random gal, I'll say.
Yeah, whatever. Listen, my dude, let me. Auto my off up your chest. Don't act like. Don't be too.
I'll really do something.
I believe you can do it. I
Yeah.
didn't try to act give you that bravado. You.
All right. Stooge
Okay,
is going to.
Hey, God.
I am going to make him make a roll
Gonna give him some.
of some kind.
Let me see.
And the thing is, poor Stooge has
Okay.
disadvantage on charisma saves.
But hey, would this give him a straight roll?
It's still a 6.
Ah, dang, I can't do.
As he just sort of walks up to a woman and goes, "Hey, you're hot." The woman just sort of gives him just
And
a
he does
blankish
a
look.
face palm. Head. And
Yeah, I have a van. And just Jack just goes, listen, hey, yeah, Andy, yeah, I'll see you later. Dude, what the fuck? As he just starts bringing him off and just goes, just go to the van, just go to the van, it's gonna be fine, just go to the van and wait, all right?
not a white van. You might get other ideas about Stu. Is he?
I hear what you're saying. And it's as you are slowly moving back into the waiting period that we will take a little break.
Wheel.
No. You back?
Alrighty. And we are back. Which brings us back to one of our lovely players, but not the one you'd expect. Reyna. It
Yeah.
is almost 12. The experiment is about to happen, and, well, everybody's here that you know. Beswick, Dr. Hemimorph, even Ducky, who's sort of a little bit nervous. I take it you'd probably be closest to her
Yes, I
at
was
that
going to
given
say something
moment.
about that. Yes, I would like to
Alrighty.
be. 'Cause I also need to be near them just in case, so that way I can go, okay, we need to turn it down a bit.
Indeed. And that actually brings me to the thing you'd probably turn down. There it is. The psychoplasmic power converter. It's
Yeah.
smaller than you expected. It's about the size of a somewhat large hot water heater. It's big enough that it's about 4 feet tall, covered with little things and bits and bobs and greebles of all sorts, and a couple of nozzles that eventually lead to a helm, a small little metal girder hat that is currently placed on Ducky's head. She's no longer wearing her hat, and you can see her raven black hair that's sort of standing, that's sort of poking out from between the metal lines.
Mm-hmm.
She's sort of she was holding on to your lab coat the
Mm-hmm.
first time. She is full on death gripping your hand.
Good, good, good. Yes, I need to have hand.
Alrighty.
This is. I will not let go of your hand
Okay.
the whole time. And if
Alright.
anything
Alright.
feels weird, you tell me.
Yeah. I'll tell you. As Hemimorph is just sort of standing there, still sort of nursing a coffee. Beswick is pacing. She's like, okay. We have the thing. It's all set up. Best as we can do. Ducky, you're fine, right? Yeah. Reyna, you're fine, right?
Good. Yeah.
Good. Good. All right. And that should mean. And then you hear a knock on the door. And that's them. Just act as natural as you can act. Just nothing bad's going to happen. Okay? And as she moves to open the door, 5 men walk out. Let's start with the ones you recognize. There is, of course, the tall, sort of thin form of a European man that you recognize. He's the one who sort of talks with Dr. Atom the most, a man by the name of Amadeus Dali, one of the more rich benefactors that you recognize.
Oh no,
Then,
I was going to say it was the one that looked evil.
we'll get to him. That
Ah,
one you
okay.
do recognize as well, although he's only talked to you once or twice. His
Okay.
eyes look to you, and you've recognized them. He's got. People have said he's had the devil's eyes. Eyes that look straight into your soul. A man by the name of Alistair Usher. Probably the richer benefactor and co owner of the company. There is, of course, Dr. Adam. He's sort of coming in with a cane that he's sort of gripping with both hands as he sort of looks around, his head a little shaky on his shoulders, but he looks to you and goes, Reyna. Yeah. And then there are the two. Well, you recognize Dr. Orville. He is a man who clearly you've met a couple of times, perhaps done an interview or two on him. He is a man with frown lines across his face, but he's not frowning at this moment. He's giving a bit of a warmer smile as he's looking over at everyone. Shorter hair that's thinning at the edges, and glasses that sort of frame his eyes in a very square, logical way. And finally, a man you do not recognize. He stands a little taller than the most. His hair is like a pineapple's. It goes straight up, sort of falls off in fronds. And he wears sunglasses that provide no mirth whatsoever. Dr. Beswick begins to do her introductions as she just goes, yes, welcome, everybody. Glad to see you, Dr. Adam, Dr. Orville. It's good to see you. As Dr. Orville eventually speaks up, it's good to see you. Dr. Adam begins to look up and go, oh, is this our newest test subject? Yes. This is Lanya Ducky. Her name's Ducky. Oh, quack. And Ducky sort of looks up, and for a little bit she actually smiles, and sort of they glance over to you as she goes, and this is the intern who we've gotten the most help from, Raina. This is, of course, you know Dr. Adam. How
Hello.
have you been?
I have been well, thank you.
I take it the powers haven't been too problematic, have they?
They have been helpful, more so.
Oh, good. That's good to hear. And Dr. Orville, you've met. Yes, I've met you before. You're the one who did most of the psychic testing, I've heard. Is that right?
Yeah.
He sort of gives a broad grin and sort of reaches out a hand. Back when I was still doing my experiments, we could have used somebody like you on the force. Could have done a significant amount of help.
I'm here now. I'm gonna shake the hand that is not being squeezed by Ducky.
Indeed, as his hand is a firm handshake, and uh, these are our benefactors. I take it you'll just be watching closely, as Dolly sort of looks on and goes, "Oh, don't worry. I feel I have to get a voice from him. Do not worry. I feel that this will be an interesting experiment, nonetheless." Mr. Usher sort of looks to you, staring into your soul as he just goes,
Mhm.
"Oh, don't worry. We'll be watching. Great."
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
representative from Sparta, Mr. John S., is fine. Thank you. He looks to you, and you can't see his eyes.
Mhm.
We'll be watching in case anything goes wrong.
Of course.
Uh, but nothing's gonna go wrong. Yeah. All we have to do is
Why
just
did you
set
keep
up.
saying those? I just give her
I
those
don't
eyes.
mean to jinx it. I'm not. We're not jinxing anything. I'm not trying to jinx this at all. But you
Just
understand as well
stop
as I do.
talking
Okay, I understand.
and breathe.
Both of you, please. Don't. Do you understand as well as I do? Don't screw this up for us, for me especially.
Just breathe.
Indeed, Ducky seems to be hyperventilating a little bit as
Yeah, breathe.
Henrymore
You're
sort of goes,
talking.
Dr. Beswick, if we could talk. And I can discuss this further for anyone who has further questions.
As
Oh,
I try to.
yes, I was actually quite curious about this young girl of sorts. As they begin to sort of move over, but Orville actually
Calm Ducky
stays
down.
behind as the rest sort of talk. Indeed. I take it she has had a couple of psychic signs. Yes.
Yeah, there's been a few.
Anything of instance? Anything? Hold on, I have to get the voice right.
Mhm.
Anything paranormal?
I will. I will have Ducky focus on something to calm herself down while I try to talk hush to him. because I don't want
Make
her to start.
me an
Yeah.
insight check right quick to see if you
And,
had the brains to do this.
okie dokie. Luckily, I have advantage because of
Indeed,
race.
with a
Thank
14,
you. Ray.
you had the wherewithal to get something that she could focus on
Mhm.
repeatedly. What would you say in the office you would have brought?
What would she? I would say it would probably be like one of her like Lady Liberty items that would or toy that could just like maybe like a puzzle, like if there's like a puzzle cube but with Lady Liberty type thing.
A Rubik's Cube that's like made in China. Yeah.
Yeah, but it has, instead of being like the colors, it makes like a picture of her or something.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And she's just sort of grabbing it and slowly sort of flicking it in her
Mhm.
hand. She's
Yep. Just try to keep her focused on that. Try to calm her down, thinking, okay, one step at a time, and then I will
sort of goes.
quietly speak to him that I think there is some sort of, I want to say, R- Russian ghost of some sort.
Russian.
Yes,
I
because
don't entirely have. What's your passive insight?
passive insight is 14.
14. You do see a flash of something across his face, but he focuses and just sort of goes,
Because
it'll
I,
be fine. Just
I didn't know if you want me to explain more. If it's
I understand sometimes paranormal manifestations might be present among ghostly figures. Just keep her calm, keep her safe. Nothing goes wrong, which nothing is going to.
why do you
Then we
people
should.
keep doing these things?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't entirely believe in the superstition
I
of
know
ginseng, but I
you have
understand it might be uncomfortable at
paranormal.
most. It,
It's just the mindset.
fine, fine. If something does go wrong, we'll control it. I trust Mr. Warren will do so.
All right, as long as that no harm comes to Ducky.
He sort of thinks on that for a second and goes, I'll see what I can do. Just sort of
Thank
moves back as Mr. Usher and Mr. Dolly begin to move over towards a different area, but the others sort of stick around for a bit of talking and squabbling.
you. And then I go back to keep trying to keep her calm and holding her hand.
Indeed. And it's as you're preparing for this that you, my dearest Rachel, and you, Andy, hear the guard known as Barry sort of speak up as he begins to straighten his coat and sort of walk forward in a half march. All right. The public showing will begin in 10 minutes. In the meantime, you can come in, inspect, and see some of our interesting, well, everything that is interesting, I guess. But the doors are now open. And the doors are open to the press. And that raises a question. Should we continue for here, or should we continue the remainder of the showing in the next episode?
I can continue.
I'm can
Okay.
continue a while longer.
Okay.
God,
I'd
you could.
say until 9:30 sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. The door is now open, and oh, I accidentally stole Andy's token. Place yourself wherever on the field. The two of you see this ornate looking entrance to this massive building complete with a hallway with marble floors and a rather bored-looking secretary and front desk. A couple of doors that lead in different directions, actually south, north, east, and west. A handful of people and just a crowd that's moving through. Only a handful are of interest. Of course, there's Tim and Alejandra, who's just sort of writing down notes while Tim is. He's got a boom mic but no camera, so he's just raising it everywhere, waving it to get the proper sounds. There's Cleo, of course, who's sort of thinking, like, should we try and. But we'll get to her in just a moment. There's, of course, the two in very fine suits discussing in the hallway. And finally, there are three. The twins that were talking and took pictures, and the man from the subway, who you, Rachel, actually recognize. That's Jack, your fosterish brother. They
Holy
appear to be
faith.
looking at a period piece of some sort of mechanical instrument which is on 4 pedestals. And that raises 2 important things. Rachel, you are
Yes.
here to give interviews. Andy, you're just here to have fun and look around and talk with people.
Did I?
But you have 10 minutes. I accidentally deleted your token when I
Oh, thank
eliminated
God!
the
I
crowd.
thought I
Come to
did.
You
think
can
of
just
it, where
place
the
your
fuck?
tokens wherever. You can just place yourself anywhere in this main area that's not in the crowd, or not in
Yeah.
the meeting room.
Yeah, I assume that I'm just with
Boo.
Chloe, like sitting there.
Alrighty, as Cleo sort of says to you as she leans over, "Hey, those are press guys, right? What if we tried to, go to them and try and, tell about how much of a hero you were? That could possibly get you some good press, especially considering the thing."
I'm currently happy on my slope. I don't have any press. I have you, the shop, and
What? Can I
Oh,
drop kick my
you have
brother?
a shop now. That's actually really great.
wait. I don't have the shop. I like the shop. I got my. I don't have the. I'm not part. I don't own the shop.
Well, I know you don't have it on you. I get it. As Barry sort of intersects into the conversation, but as he goes, but yeah, it's great to see you. You look good, man.
That one's.
Nonetheless,
How's Barry talking to? Oh yeah.
Barry's this one. He's the guard.
Oh, okay. I was a little confused because I thought the weird anime protagonist hair spike one.
Hey, I'll have you know, don't diss my brother, okay?
Which actually brings me to you, Rachel, as there are the interviews that you have to make. You have enough time for 2 of them, but you also see Jack there. What do you do?
Did
Can
Rachel
I
see me
go
knock out a
drop?
person in one punch?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not sure.
Rachel,
not
you
sure,
saw that
actually.
shit. You actually did, because you guys were preparing for something. In fact, that's what Alejandra's sort of writing about. Like, yeah, that guy was a dumbass. Honestly, he didn't even try and do the robbery right. He would just grab for the purse like a fucking dumbass.
I can't lie, it was kind of cool. But, yeah.
It was. Oh yeah, it was a real rough and tough adventure. Yeah. But anyways,
Let's
Rachel,
say that.
what
Can
do you?
can I go drop kick my brother real quick? I will not drop
Uh,
kick him, but she will go up to him and sort of hit him in the back of the head.
I'll be right.
hey, what the fuck? As he sort of starts around preparing to punch back, but realizes it's you and just, come on, man, I'm fast, but I'm not that fast.
I don't know how I always get you with this. It's been what, 12 years since we know?
I know,
Did
but
we know each other? 13,
well, I also
14
didn't
maybe?
picture you'd be here. Why are you here?
are you dense?
Oh, right. You fucked that shitty bad news. Yeah. How's that
That
going for
and
you, by the way?
she scooched Jack closer. Let me move my token just to show that. There's also a ducky here, so it was fucking obvious I will be here.
Oh
You got it?
yeah, the Fed girl. Oh, it's gonna be. Yeah, you know what? You know what? It'll be fine. You can see his eyes quickly move side to side as he realized. I don't know. I didn't realize that was the thing that she was prepping for.
I trust you that if anything goes wrong, you'll go for her, right? I don't have the speed for that.
If something goes wrong with her, I'll go for her.
Yeah, yeah, of course, Thomas.
What?
I don't.
Yeah, but look. Take it easy. Things are gonna be okay on that end. I trust. But if something does go wrong, I'll come a knock.
Yeah, that's. Sorry
Yeah.
for blowing a little bit up on you.
No worries, no worries. I know you're scared. I know you're scared. But hey, I got some friends around. Have you met Ping and Pong? As these two he sort of zoops around to drag them forth. As Ping just sort of looks annoyed that she was brought into this, but the girl who was taking the pictures and going, "Yo, holy shit!" just goes, "Shit, you're Jack's brother."
Rachel quirks an eyebrow, looks at Jack, looks at I'm guessing Ping.
Uh, you can't tell who's Ping and who's Pong. They both
Um,
look very similar, but their vibes are totally different. One of them, Ping, is very much straight, standing up straight, a little bit awkward, not liking the group, while the other one, who's got the bobbed hair and the wide glasses, is clearly enjoying being out.
so I'm guessing Ping has those clothes in her picture, right?
Yes, it's the backwards ball cap is Ping, the glasses is Pong.
Can I look at Ping, look at Alejandra, look at Ping, look at Alejandra, and do they give off the same vibe, sort of?
Uh, they sort of. It's actually kind of funny because as they do have the same vibes, but then Pong sort of looks and
I'm
goes,
back.
"OMG, they're fucking twinsies." How the hell? We got the same eyeglasses! As she begins to walk towards Alejandra, who's very clearly just like, "What the fuck is going on?"
And Andy
Getting
kind
a-
of Andy goes to scant.
I know, it's horrifying.
News for you.
No, stop.
Denim jeans could go really well.
Yeah, but then I would be wearing all denim all the time.
Not all the time. Getting used.
Jack sort of gives a bit of a smile and sort of rolls his eyes as he walks over towards you, Rachel, and just goes, "Look, look."
Ping and pong. Ping pong.
Wow, you just got that?
If you put him next to Pong Ping, I would have never figured that out.
God.
What was Jack gonna say? I'm sorry, I was too
He's just
consumed
sort
by
of
the ping pong
going.
thing.
But yeah, these guys are they're from my business, but we're just hanging out, seeing what's up. 'Cause apparently this thing's pretty big. Ping, why are you here for this? He's clearly working on the fly with what's being talked about. As Ping just sort of rolls his eyes. Can't believe you fucking roped me into this. Yeah, I was just looking at. Let me just check my notes. I'm just here to, see what all the people who have all the money can do. And honestly, not impressed. Oh, as Pong sort of gives a grin, she just goes, "Honestly, the inventions are pretty cool. There's this thing. It's called the Kaufman generator. Apparently, it teleports things. I guess. I don't understand why they're not using it, but it's pretty cool." And Jack
Care.
just sort of,
Oh, it does teleport you, like, die, and then
"You're not. Do you want to walk up close to look at it?"
no, not at all. I'm
Alrighty.
The
And
D
then
atom.
at
The
Jack
atom.
sort of Jack gives a bit of a smile and sort of shrugs and goes, "Hey, I've heard a lot about Dr. Adam. Might as well see old Bast in person."
Real quick, just to make sure. Can I get a rough idea of the materials around me?
Of the technology stuff, the inventions.
Materials specifically.
It does appear that this is a marble floor and sort of these sleek metal walls.
So marble. So no metal, no nothing. Actually marble, yeah?
There is, well, the walls are the only metal there really is actually is the elevator doors, I'd say, that are nearby all the little curios. Everything else is just that sleek sort of white plastic wallpapery sort of substance.
Interesting. Okay.
Indeed.
Okay. Weird question, right?
Go ahead.
Would you say that there is an 100 feet range between me and the gang of rich hits, my child, and the doctors, right?
Yes. I would say, actually, hold on. Let's see how far the stone goes, because there's a point where it turns to carpet right over here. So it's roughly about this long stretch of like the interesting texture. That's the stone. Past that, there might be concrete under it. You can't be sure.
Okay, I'm gonna tell Jack. I'm gonna move close and tell Jack. Can you cover for me real quick? Not in the literal
Now?
sense of covering, but look out for
Now?
her.
Why?
Just trust me.
Fuck. Listen, I am.
It's not anything flashy. I just need to check something.
Okay,
I
fine.
just need
Do it
to. I
quick.
need
I
you
have
to
something I
make
need to
sure.
do.
Just 5 seconds. And 15 seconds
All right.
stops.
All right. That's fine. That's fine. Indeed.
So Rachel is gonna make sure like that Jack is on the lookout. She's going to close her eyes, and I'm gonna use my action to not cast, but use one of my features or feats in this
Ooh.
case. Because this isn't anything offensive, and it's mostly through her senses. I gather a chat of a half blind girl just closing her eyes and just like looking into nothing. She's going to use her feet, pharaohs, which aside from letting her be able to bend metal things, she's able to use an action to get 100 feet of tremor sense. Josh is going to feel, in this case, the moving and shit of the group over there that I mentioned before.
Alrighty. As you sort of slowly place your feet properly, you realize that first off, there's concrete underneath the carpet, which is convenient. But second off, beyond that point, beyond that door, Ducky's there. And apparently she is holding on to Raina for dear life, while it appears that a lot of people are speaking around her. She doesn't appear to be in any sort of danger that you know of.
I'm the.
Don't be a danger to a kid. Speaking of which, what are you two doing?
I don't want to go anywhere restricted. I'm just here, just waiting for. I like that the press is all here. I'm trying to like look at them, trying to like going in here, kind of looking at the ping and pong.
Ping pong, ping pong.
They're currently sort of interviewing them, as you know, it's a bit of a thing considering that Pong clearly loves the attention. But Barry actually is sort of talking to you is like, but yeah, after whatever happened, I took up a job as a security guard, and it's
Honestly,
paying pretty good.
I work
Yeah,
at a
yeah,
I work at a pet show. Chloe,
I didn't honestly, I didn't pay you for a pet type, honestly. Yeah, yeah, I understand that. I got like two cats at home, and they're practically children at this point.
you
You
have
know
a
how it is.
minx?
Not that I know of. I mean, I have been doing a couple of things dating wise, but with the graying hair, everybody assumes me to be 40 years older than I am, and it doesn't really go well. Ah man, I wish. Still wearing the fucking cap though? Oh wait, no, it is the games zone, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway, I kind of like look around here.
Oh, well, I'm sure that you would know, Mr. Botsford. My name's Barry Botsford. Uh, as I know, whenever the time comes, we should be in about 2 minutes. You'll just go straight on through that door, and
I pull out a
you
pop,
know,
pop and open
yeah.
pop,
Honestly, I fucking love one.
and I'm
Haven't
pop.
had anything of this sort. Yeah, haven't had a beer since
Oh, it's soda.
honestly since I left. Oh yeah, no, I know. It's just yeah. Honestly, this stuff's probably worse for you. Got like 13 times the sugar. He does sip it though, and
I give.
it's as
I assume
he
Chloe
hears a
drinks like
little.
vegan. Like
Indeed, she refuses to drink anything
I
that's
give.
not plant-based. You've tried it. It's
Even
disgusting.
I have to play devil's advocate on that. And I so close. I had to say.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've heard that they're doing something with a what is it? Oh, it's some sort of ghost thing. Yeah,
Oh, spooky.
but oh yeah, real spooky. Oh,
Oh,
hey, stop
oh.
it.
Isn't that one of the plot points? Ghost Stumpers?
Yeah, maybe. I can't watch that stuff. If I watch too many scary movies late at night, I get a headache.
That kind of.
But oh
That's.
yeah, no, Ghost Dumpers 7, the Revenge of Stanley or something.
I wasn't too a fan of switching on the male role, female role.
Well, yeah, but that's what they do every time, hon. You know this.
I did.
And she just sort of rolls her eyes. Oh, not this again.
Hey,
And it's
they
as
put,
you're
the cartoons
saying
I
this,
had as a kid put hair on a man's chest.
and it's as you're discussing that a little beep is heard at his waist as he goes, "Oh shit." The 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 public showing is now open to the press and public. Please go down the hallway, then to the left. If you've gone to the next hallway, you've gone too far. As a couple of the crowd is beginning to file and section off into the room, including the press. And Jack just sort of goes and goes, "Well, that's your cue, sweetheart. Just go on ahead and watch your little girl do right, all right?" And he gives you a little kiss on the forehead.
Yeah, right. Okay. Sure.
Wait, who kissed
You,
me?
Oh,
Wait,
she.
No one kissed you.
Oh.
Kid,
No, you don't get any kisses. Okay. Okay.
no
Placidly
kisses
snaps
for
fingers.
you. As Jack looks back and sort of goes, "Hey, Ping Pong, you looking to look?" Oh no, no, I don't think I will. We're gonna look at the museum parts a little bit more. All right, that sounds fair. Hey, I'm gonna use the bathroom. Mr. Godman, do you know where it is? Oh, yeah, it's that way. As he points towards this door. Take a left. Thank you, man. I don't know what I'd do without you. As he begins to move off in that direction, and Barry looks to the two of you, Andy and Cleo, and just sort of goes, "So, on one hand, I understand. Go ahead and watch it if you like. But hey, if you want to, look at more of these cool little museum items, you're free to. I could talk with you a little longer. What do you choose, Andy?"
What do you want to do? See the ghost thing? You know what? We should go see the ghost thing, and not start off with a little bit of fear, then mystery.
That's fair. That's fair. Indeed. Indeed.
Excuse
And
me.
as you're beginning to move in that direction, Rachel, Andy, make me a perception check.
Yes, sir. I do like saying.
Ah!
Apparently, don't.
Apparently you don't. Jesus.
I'm sorry. I'm so
Ah,
If
infatuated being
both of
next
you
to.
fail, you can help each other.
Help me with my 19.
Blammo, that's a 10.
Do you want to help?
If it's a fail, yes, I guess, yeah.
Alrighty. As you are walking back, Andy, and you're sort of glancing over at this racial person, you're like, "Oh yeah, isn't that guy going to the bathroom?" And you look back, and for the splittest of fucking seconds, it's there and a gone. Blink and you'll miss it moment. The guy is. You saw him move through these doors. For a split second, he is over here by the control panel.
Hey, fella.
And then he's gone again. What?
Yeah, hey.
What? You can make me a technology check unless you have a passive technology that's pretty high.
What is
Rachel, have
technology?
you already
That
headed
Arcana?
to the
No. Jill.
technology?
I
It's an intelligence check.
Okay, I do not have a technology. I do have an intelligence.
Alrighty.
Nice.
So Rachel, have you already? Before I say what I'm about to say, have you already headed to go see Ducky?
of course, that's her fucking child. I mean, she did check on
Alrighty.
her out of just like
I'm gonna run the
nervousness.
assumption that my guy's like, it's trick of my.
You looked at it, and on one hand, you don't know technology, you don't know basically anything, but you do see that the control board is green when it wasn't before.
Hey, doll. I mean, excuse me. I heard your name is Rachel.
Rachel looks at him with her own singular eye. Yes, that is my name.
I
As you're
heard.
both walking towards the towards the presentation, yes.
Are you friend? Red hair?
He is my brother. Yes.
Well, you'll mess with. Might be a trick. Handle that. Even Max is the same.
Rachel quirks an eyebrow, playing dumb, of course. I'm not sure what you mean.
No. his hands at his. You know what? It looks like. Let's go. You'll see the ghost machine.
Oh yeah. Let's.
Am I allowed over here?
Oh yes, you're able to move over towards this area.
God, what is that thing?
Can I go directly to my baby towards Lucky?
You're allowed to, although Dr. Beswick does move towards you a little bit. Reyna, what do you do as you see a woman you recognize?
Ah, yes, Cleo.
I will let Ducky know someone's here to see them and say, and look at Beswick going, do you really want to make a scene with the mother?
And as Ducky sort of looks to you and gives a bit of an excited look, Ray!
Oh, Rachel is just going up to her and picking her up and just hugging her. How have you been, Ducky? You fucking swing her side to side.
Oh, we got to do tests, and then we got to do more stuff, and then, oh, this is going to be the biggest test of them all. I know it, because they keep telling me it's going to be a big test.
Cleo.
Rachel looks at Dr. Westwick.
She looks
Then
back
at
to you and
Reyna.
just sort of goes, we'll put a pin in that.
Miles.
Anyways, back to you, Rachel and Reyna. What do you do?
Did I miss?
Yeah, she looks at Reyna
Mhm.
and says, what's that about a big test?
What's what?
What's that about a big test?
A lot. We had tests before we run up to this. This is the final thing. So yes, it is the big test.
She's sort
It's
of
just like,
slightly
this
squints
is
her
what the
eyes.
whole event is of using this. It's the big test.
I just realized that there's a giant robot in this room.
Oh yeah, that is. What, is he some sort of? Is he the test? Is he the experiment?
I thought we were coming to see ghosts, not a robot. But hey,
I didn't either. Honestly, I don't know.
I wonder if he runs
There's
on Bluetooth.
Robocyst, the fuck? Robocism
Oh,
in my
God.
game?
Oh God, I don't even know. What do they even support Bluetooth? I take it they have their own thing.
Is this a cosplay event?
God.
There's
But anyways,
You say this, and then you look over and see all of the businessmen in suits.
Well, they could be cosplaying something else. I felt like this is good. Like look at this.
No. They said what the event was.
Doesn't then I look at this guy.
Clutch, real quick, call me a little bit paranoid, right?
yes.
But while I'm talking to Reyna about, she should sort of like very lightly prodding. Can I use my tremor sense to see the direction of the feet of the all these investors? Why I'm asking this? Because I'm trying to make sure none of them are looking in my direction, because they probably are like, oh, here's
They're
the mother. Now
probably
we can
all
now we can
looking at your
kill her.
direction.
They're looking in your direction, but not at you. They're most likely looking at Ducky or Reyna.
Got the person.
I would say they are, but I don't know.
Then we have the person who looked dressed up as a duck.
No, they're not wearing that right now.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, now they're
They
taking.
They're
have
wearing the raincoat, but they're not wearing the hat and the hood.
Alright, well, the test is going
So
to begin,
after-
so you're going to need to either take a seat.
Oh.
Not you.
Oh.
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to Rachel.
Yes, I'll go take a seat. Before that, she looks up towards Ducky. If you need help, just make sure to shout Jack's name, okay?
Pull a
And
sauerkraut
she sort of
sandwich.
gives a nod and sort of gives this and goes, okay, I'll try. And it's as you're beginning to sit down, Reyna,
Yes.
you carry the same sort of little beeper thing that everybody else does
Mm-hmm.
that works for AtomCo. The security guard has one, Hemimorph probably has one, Beswick has one. All of a sudden, you get it beeps green or red depending on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yours, for a split second, beeps red. Goes diddle, and then you hear in your ear, "We got a problem back here. We got a problem." Whoop. In the back of your ear, and as you, Hemimorph, and Beswick look at each other, at least they look at you,
Mm-hmm.
something is going on. And that is where we are going to wrap up tonight's session, just before the tests. Join us next time as, well, the tests are going to happen, whether they succeed or fail. But what's going on beyond the tests? Who are the people that are causing this? And what are they causing? Find out next time in ICTU Mind Over Machine.
Bye.
I'll make sure
Bye.
you go to standby first, and